Hey, we're back, Astrolites. I hope you guys are enjoying your beautiful Sunday morning. It is an absolutely gorgeous day, if I do say so myself. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm a little hyped up because the other day my friend posted this meme saying that uh, drug dealers are getting more times than the basically the cardinal criminals, rapists, murderers, things like that. And heinous crimes are getting more time, or getting less time, excuse me. And I remember I was watching this show called The Neighborhood, with Cedric the Entertainer, and he actually made a point when he said the system is working the way it needs to. It's sad, but it's true. We try to convince ourselves that, oh, the system's broken, this and that. No, no, no. It's working just fine. But we need more people to put a dent in the system at least. And it's like Edward Norton said on Death to Smoochie. You can't change the world, but you can make a dent. Make sense so far? Okay. So I'm glad you guys are with me on this one. Just it's a difficult subject to even talk about because that's how our system's working. You know, the worse crime you do, the less time you get, and that's absolutely sickening. Drug dealers get twice the sentence than rapists, child molesters, things like that. Just yeah, I know it's unjust. That's why I have the injustice thumbnail to put my point across, basically. Um, we got to do something, you guys. We can't keep just. Uh, it's like our society is just created to be uh, corrupted because I mentioned that the whole minimum wage ordeal and that certain people are getting hired at jobs. Yeah, you guys remember some of those videos. And I'm really praying for a good 23, you guys. Election day is next Tuesday, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but oh, excuse me. November 8th is the election day. So if you have your ballots, which I know you should have by now, fill those out. And once more, have common sense when you're filling these out. Don't vote yes on something that's going to have a negative impact, because that's also a part of the problem. It's bright out here. It's also a part of the problem because we want to vote for the most egregious things imaginable because they sound like good ideas, but when in truth, they're actually not. Like I've even said time and time again, and you'll see this not just on your ballot, but they gave you a pamphlet like I think it's about that big about Prop 29. Yeah, definitely a flat out no for that one. Because if people vote yes, because here's the thing, they vote yes for it, because, or certain people vote yes for certain props because of how they're worded. They make it, this is how they get you. They make it sound like it's a good idea because of how they word it. So just be careful when you're making your votes, your selections, what have you. Because remember, every vote counts. And of course, they're not always going to go our way. And it's like if I was in court, which is going to be highly unlikely. So hypothetically, if I was in court and I called the judge rather than your honor, and the judge would be like, I prefer you to call me as your honor. There's going to be, I'm just going to flat out say, there's no honor in the system, so I prefer to call you Judge so and so. That's the kind of person I am. And I believe for the police officers, if you're going to respect the badge, then you're going to have my respect. If you're not going to respect your badge and just do whatever, I'm not going to lay down and take anything from you. All right. That's basically how liberated I am. Like, I'm not just going to lay down and take things from people. And I'm sure as hell not going to vote yes on something that's basically, they're saying vote yes for a major genocide or something. And I'm sure there's some of you that will agree with me. I'm hoping all of you will agree with me, but again, it's going to be worded differently to the point where you're just like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to vote yes on this. This seems like a good idea. They have the pamphlets, they have the commercials, and if you still vote yes, don't even bother on my channel. I'm just going to say that. Because if you vote yes on a 29, I want nothing to do with you. Even if you're already a subscriber, I don't care. Just don't bother with me. Because if you vote yes on things that are going to make society that much worse, just leave me be. You do your thing, I do my thing. That's just how it's going to be. And it's ridiculous because I remember actually seeing a commercial, and it was supposed to be uplifting. This innocent man gets released after 40 plus years, if I remember correctly. An innocent man gets released after 40 plus years, and this is a black man as well. Hashtag injustice. It's like somebody in the crime lab is not getting all the evidence that they need for this man. I'm just like, this is a real Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence life sort of situation. It's like we're still following past values and we're applying them to today's values. Because back in the day, if you were black and you were innocent, but you were by a dead body that was having blood spilled all over it, things like that, you pretty much get the long ride. You get life, no questions asked. And today, it's like we're still dealing with that same concept. Now, some of you probably remember that commercial that I'm talking about. And he was like, ever since I got released, I've been doing well. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. They should have at least gave you parole after the first few years, or that they should have found more evidence. This is basically showing that there's nothing wrong with the system. It's working the way it needs to. But we have to make a difference in said system. We have to be willing to put a major dent in it. Make sense so far? Because we are constantly having to rise up against injustice. It's like we're living in the past, and it's like nothing's in our favor. It's like, oh, we found more than enough evidence to do this, do that. And then 4 decades later, you want to say, oh, apparently it turns out this man was innocent the whole time. Like, are you freaking serious? You know how many birthdays, weddings, etc. You know how much life that man has missed because it took you 4 decades to find the evidence that was secluding his innocence. That's come on. Now, usually, I don't like anything that involves litigation, but I'm just gonna say we need more black lawyers, especially more pro bono black lawyers. People who are guaranteed to make sure you never see the inside of a jail cell or a prison cell. Yes, there is a difference, by the way. It's like there's no justice in the world. It's like the least amount of crime you commit, the twice the sentence you get. More heinous crimes are getting less time, and it needs to stop. And she even posted that uh, this one person he got off easily, and he didn't even register as a sex offender. You know that's the same as violating your parole, right? That's basically what he was doing. And it's and that he's not even the only one. I know. It's just, oh, guys, this is so flustering. It's very frustrating because I am a black man, technically biracial, but in situations like these, I'm proud to say I am a black man, and I am having to explain. Because here's the thing: litigation is basically common sense cubed. That's all it is. Common sense to the third power. That's what I think litigation is. And we could do as people of color, we can do everything just about right. But it's like the law is just looking for us to make the smallest itty bitty error. It's gotta stop. I'm trying to catch my breath here. This is just I know it's uncomfortable to talk about, but sometimes the most uncomfortable things to talk about will help us in the long run. We have to, especially uh, with these kids growing up, we got to tell them whatever you do when you when you grow up, be sure that it's helping somebody in need. And that's precisely what I'm doing with the invention I'm paying off. I'm planning to help people in need. I am, once I get to pro wrestling, I make a name for myself. I'm also be helping people that way, because we all look out for one another. Even if even if you're not colored, we're still gonna look out for you. Because I know that certain non-colored, bystanders, they get themselves in a bit of a pickle too. But from what I could tell from my friend's post, that this was more towards black folks, and some of us actually have to do better because it's like we're going around and we're living out past stereotypes that make the white people think or say, oh, basically, uh, yeah, I'm not surprised that they would do this, they would do that. We can't give them that type of thinking. For those of you who are living out the stereotypes of us, you know, committing crimes, joining gangs, things of that nature, do better for yourself. Because it's going to lead to one or two things. That's either, yeah, bump you and your motorcycle. But anyway, like I was saying, you got to do better for yourselves. Because you're either going to end up behind bars or 6 feet deep. It's going to happen one way or another. That's why grown folk like me, we tell the younger generation, look, get yourself well educated, get a job, just do well for yourself. There is no shame in doing well for yourself. There is no shame in making a difference. And I don't know, some of you who I'm talking to, like, well, actually, I ain't got no choice. What did I say in the last video about using deflective terms? That also counts as a deflective term. More than an excuse, I should say. Oh, I don't have no choice, this and that. Especially if you are still in your prime, you always have a choice. Stop giving yourself an excuse to do all this foolishness. Take better care of yourselves. Be well educated. Save money for your future. Work towards a goal. You guys are so smart. You are so intelligent not to have to make the mistakes you're making. I don't want to keep having to hear, oh, this guy was selling this or that on the street and now he's going to get 10 years for it. I don't want to have to hear any more of that. Especially if you're a person of color. I care about you guys way too much for this. But that's all I got for you guys. Really consider what I said. Remember to like, subscribe, share the videos, and to people you know and also people you don't know. Let's make a dent in the world and make a difference. Be well, be safe, be loved. Namaste.